Hello everybody, my name is Michael and this is Dark Souls 1. This is pretty much all going to be about Siegmeyer today. Maybe a few other things if we get around to it. We are not going to defeat Seath yet. We are going to head down here into this section of the Duke's Archives, and we're going to find yet another golden golem, just like the one that contained the beautiful Dusk of Lucille, and see what we can see about that. I also wanted to point out something in here. Where are you? Okay, it's already at the bottom probably. The giant cell once imprisoned countless maidens, but it is now empty, save for a few key persons. They struggle to uphold their sanity as the horde of mistakes writhe at a fearfully close proximity. So they're telling us two things. One, that Logan is going crazy, and that there were women being held in there by the wicked Seath. Now let's head out here, and this area is filled with those crystal golem guys. And if you are making a magic or enchanted weapon, not something I would recommend, but if you are, this is the place you would want to come to in order to farm that stuff. You can farm some of that stuff, obviously, in Darkroot Basin by the Hydra, which may be the only reason why the crystal golems are even there, so you can farm this stuff early on without waiting for the golden fog gate to lift. But maybe there's some more. Maybe there's some lore to that. I don't know. We're not really going to do too much of that. There's a blue titanite chunk down this way. This whole section is just filled with those blue crystal golems. And there's a blue titanite chunk down there. Not all that important. But that gold crystal golem is very important. And this will, I believe, only appear if you have been following along with Siegmeyer's questline. I don't think this comes without you doing that. I think I have a couple of times just ignored the questline, and it hasn't been there. It's obviously much bigger and tougher than the other ones, so be careful of that. Ooh, okay, we got some rolls. I was hit by one of those things. Great pain. And what just popped out of there? Is that Siegmeyer? What are you doing here, you big lug? But wait a minute. There's something strange about Siegmeyer, almost seductive. Something sexual, you might say. And wait a minute, didn't Siegmeyer use a Zweihander when we saw him last? That's a bastard sword there. Let's talk to Siegmeyer. Or is it?
It was you who rescued me. Why, thank you. I am Sieglinde of Katarina. I don't know how I ended up in that crystal. It wasn't terrible in there, but I could hardly move. I must think of some way to repay you. Oh, have you seen my father? You wouldn't miss him. A suit of armor just like mine. Thank goodness. I knew he was here somewhere. Well then, now I must find him. Thanks again, truly. Now if you'll just stay put and keep out of trouble. Thank goodness. Well then, now if...
Yeah, what are you going to do? That is actually Sieglinde, Siegmeyer's daughter. That is not Siegmeyer. Siegmeyer is elsewhere down in the Demon Ruins. And I wanted to come and talk to her first, because I'm not exactly sure in what order I have to do everything. I've done this a dozen times, but I'm still not exactly sure, because the game can be very picky and persnickety about precisely doing things in the exact order that they demand. You can't do it in your own way. You have to do it in this special fancy way, or it doesn't count. But in order to make her appear, I believe you do need to have followed through with Siegmeyer's question line at least to Anor Londo. At least there. Maybe past there all the way down to giving him the purple moss clumps in Blighttown. But now that she is there, I believe she will go back to Firelink Shrine and talk to us a little bit more, although that may be after we meet Siegmeyer again in the Demon Ruins, which we are going to do in just a little bit. Just over here, you will notice there is Logan! He's in here now, and he will sell you his expanded set of spells. Although I calculated it, I think it will take upwards of 200,000 souls in order to get all of the things he has for sale there, I think. It's definitely over 100,000 souls, and that's a hell of a lot. So we are going to warp back to Firelink Shrine and see if Sieglinde is there, and if not, we'll just go to the Demon Ruins and see if Siegmeyer is there. And I also will show you in just a second that I managed to get a Velen. The end of the last episode, it only took me 2 more tries. I died once and succeeded on the next try. I managed finally to get a Velen, and I'll talk about that before going into Sieglinde. Oh, and she is here. Good. Let's talk about a Velen. I don't believe I can use this. I think I need more strength, but we'll see. Oh no, I can use it. I only need 16 strength and 14 dex. What a Velen is a very fancy kind of special repeating crossbow. This doesn't fire 1 bolt, it fires 3 bolts at a time. See, that just took 3 bolts. And this is sort of based on, I think, some things that were in, I think there was something like this in Berserk. I'm not too sure about that. I don't know if there was ever a repeating crossbow in the real world, if there was anything that looked like this in reality. But I do know that there were Choco Nu and other kinds of repeating crossbows in China that would fire 1 bolt at a time. However, it had sort of a clip of bolts like a modern rifle, and you could fire 4 or 5 of them in a row. So you didn't fire 3 at once, you just fired a couple at a time. You just fired 1 at a time, but you could do 4 or 5, like the clip of, say, a Springfield rifle or something like that. This weapon is incredibly unique. Let's take a look at it. Repeating crossbow cherished by the weapon craftsman Adas. Its elaborate design makes it closer to a work of art than a weapon. Intricate mechanism makes heavy damage possible through triple-shot firing of bolts. But in fact, each bolt inflicts less damage. So presumably you would get maybe like, let's just say at random, 10 damage on one, then 8 damage on the next, then 6 damage on the third, or something like that. You know, not that you would do that damage, but something akin to that. And it looks incredibly cool. It is definitely a mark of prestige to have this weapon. And it is actually very, very useful if you upgrade this along the lightning path for the Artorias boss fight. We will be fighting Artorias in the DLC section of this game. And the Avellin can be used to stagger him. 1 blast from the Avellin at +4 lightning can stagger Artorias, which can be very useful before he activates his power-up. But we'll talk about more about that when we see him next time. This is just an all-around really cool weapon. It looks amazing. I love the way it looks. It is agony to go get that. I'm shocked it only took 3 times. I also want to point out something from the last episode. I dropped down there and opened the chest, and then I was killed by the arrows. I do not know of a way to shoot those guys, those archers, with arrows before you jump down, unless you actually just wander down there and clear out that entire room before you continue on with this section, which you can do, but it takes so long, and then you still have to land that jump down on the stacks, because I don't know if fall control will let you live, but I'm assuming that no matter what happens, it's too great a distance, and you'll just fall and die if you miss it. You have to get it right at that one time, or everything respawns when you come back. It's really pretty agonizing. And although something very important happened when I was able to open the chest, even though I died afterwards, the subsequent attempts to go back and get Avellin, the chest was already open. So you don't have to go through the opening of the chest moment twice. It's still there open, just like it was before, even though I died and respawned and went back. So it stays open at the very least, and you can just run up and grab it, and it was much easier, and I was able to get it this time. So yeah, I'll probably be upgrading this just to show you. It's kind of an elaborate weapon. It costs a lot to use all of these bolts. And, you know, it's not terrible with parameters, 16 strength, 14 dex. It's a very interesting, unique kind of weapon, and I just feel like you have to do this at some point during a playthrough, but if you miss it on your first one, don't worry about that. Let's see if Sieglinde has anything to say here.
Oh, hello again. We're both managing quite well, aren't we? But I haven't found my father yet. Have you seen him? Really? Then I must be off. I'm sorry he's caused you trouble. He has a knack for that. If you just stay put. Really?
So that's pretty much her dialogue here, and we are going to go and rescue Siegmeyer, and I think she is going to disappear, but she will return before the final moment with Siegmeyer, and ultimately the reward for saving Siegmeyer is a second Titanite slab. So if you're not interested in getting that, then you may not want to go through this, but it's also a fun part of the game. I don't know if it's even possible for you to do this on your first time through. That sounds really doubtful. But I'm going to see you in the Demon Ruins after a cut. In just 1 second. Hello again, everybody. My name is Michael, and let us continue on with this. I am here in Lost Izalith, and we are going to go rescue Siegmeyer. The floor over there is a trap. It is going to give way the instant you step on it. And what you want to do is immediately move to the left as you go out there. Otherwise, it is simply going to fall as soon as you step on it. Let's see if I can... I can't trigger it with the fire bombs, unfortunately. Only our weight can trigger it. I'm also bringing in with us some purple moss clumps, because we're going to need it, because the area down here is poisonous. Yeah, fire and poison. Just like Blighttown. There we go. That little item there, I guess, is a trick. If you go anywhere else but here, you're going to be falling right down. And there he is! It's Siegmeyer! Yay! Alright, now take a look at that. Those are those hideous monsters that spray us with that equipment corroding substance. Now, as soon... let's take a step back and look at what we need to do. First, I'm going to put on the rusted iron ring, because that place down there is poisonous but also sticky, just like Blighttown. When we wake up Siegmeyer here, because he is asleep, unbelievably, and talk to him, he is going to mention that he wants to leap down here and save me and fight all of these guys. And this can go a number of ways. Remember last time we talked to him in Anor Londo, he said that I think gallantry has its own risks, and next time let me come up with a plan. Now, we've since spoken to him at Firelink Shrine and in Blighttown, so that may be difficult to figure out exactly, to remember that, because it was several encounters ago. But we have to remember that he said that, and even though we've saved him one time in between all of this by giving him that moss, what we need to do now is let him save us. And in order to do that, we have to allow him to kill these monsters down here and, save us from death. And remember I said Siegmeyer is a mighty warrior, and he is really, really tough. So he can easily dispatch a couple of these guys, but the poison and the fall, and the fact that there are 4 of them, he's headstrong, He's got more balls than brains. So what we need to do is save Siegmeyer sort of covertly by gently killing most of the enemies down here, leaving only one in this group of 4, and one other that is just off screen to the right there who will charge up usually and try to get all up in our business. Now, if we do not do anything, he is going to go down there with those 4 guys and he probably will live, but he's going to take more than 50% of his health damage, and that would mean immediately we lose the quest line, it's over. So that sucks, that you need to figure that out. Second, we could go down there, and if we just kill everything and save him, his pride will be wounded and he'll be despairing, and the quest line will also be broken. We'll also lose that. So that sucks. A third option, the one we're trying to go for, is that we go down there, soften it up just right, and so he will be victorious, but he will also be the one doing the damage against these monsters. So we're going to talk to him, jump down here, and watch him fight 2 of these guys. And hopefully we'll be okay.
Hmm? Oh! Excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. Must be the warmth. Well, what's on your mind? No, don't tell me. Those monsters making life difficult for you? You need not be ashamed. We're all in the same boat, you know. I really have run up quite a debt to you. Perhaps the time has come. Friend, I have an idea. A good one, really. I will rush those dire fiends, and you can slip away in the confusion. Please, friend. I owe you much more than this. By the honor of the Knights of Katarina, allow me to assist you. And now, I go. Don't be slow. Come on! Over here, you fiends! Perish, foul creatures! I am Siegmeyer of Katarina, and you shall feel my wrath!
Okay. He should be jumping in there anytime. I honestly don't know what's going on. Oh, fuck, I think I screwed up his quest line. Come on. Well, I'm gonna head down here, see if anything happens. Siegmeyer! Siegmeyer! Oh, he's coming. Good. Thank God. Thought I fucked something up. See, 422 with one hit. He is a badass. He's a bad motherfucker. Look at this guy. And this guy, I don't know if he's supposed to come in here or not, but he charges in anyway. And Siegmeyer can just demolish these fuckers. I mean, look at this. Just smash. Oh my God, no! No! Siegmeyer! Siegmeyer, no, no. Let him go. Oh my God. They fucking killed Siegmeyer, you bastards! Oh my God. No! No! Okay, guys, I think it's safe that we have fucked up everything about this quest. And it's over, man. It's all over. Game fucking over, man. Fucking hell. It's probably green titanite, I can't pick it up. Let's go talk to him.
But you, didn't you get away? Well, you've saved me, once again. Oh, thank goodness. I'm exhausted. I think I'll have a rest. Oh, don't you worry. The ground below me is my pillow. I'll recover shortly.
Through all this. Now, I'm pretty sure I fucked everything up with that. Because I totally forgotten those monsters have some sort of grab attack, and they look like they can insert you into their horrible, gaping, toothy maw there. I had completely forgotten about any of that. And he probably has taken too much damage to continue the quest, but we won't find out about that until much later on. There's one more thing in this area that you may want to get, depending on what you're doing with your weapons. There is a red titanite slab down here somewhere. And that slab, obviously, is what you would use to get your fire weapons up to plus 10. From plus 9 to plus 10. There it is. And the red titanite slab, I mean, the fire weapons, I'm just not a big fan, although some people do love the Chaos fire weapons, where your damage scales with humanity. So if you have 10, I don't know if I talked about this before, but with Chaos weapons, if you have 10 or 11 humanity, that will cause your damage to increase with every attack, with every bit of humanity you have, it goes up. So I'm going to try to find my way out of here. I love the walls here that look sort of like this clay. It kind of reminds me of the walls that were in Videodrome. On the walls, that has sort of a clay background. Let's take a look around here. I might be hopelessly lost now that I went to go find that, but let's see. This may be it. This may be the one with the monster. Is it? Huh. That's peculiar. I thought there was going to be one of those guys up here. That's a little strange. Let us see. There's a way that we can get back up from here. Originally I thought you were just trapped down here, but I think you can, yeah, we can get back up from here. And over there is on the opposite side of the little labyrinth, there's an area, you can see that light there. I'm almost certain that that is a red titanite chunk, and there's one of those monsters guarding it. And if you head up there through the other side, you can get an extra chunk if you're doing the fire stuff, but I'm not going to bother with that. You can just farm the chunks from those guys. That might be the only red titanite slab that you can get in the game. That's possible. I'm not really too sure about that. I hope there's not just one. That would kind of suck. So, if you remember that we were here last time, Solaire was supposedly saved by us killing one of those horrible... I found out they're called chaos bugs, I think, on the wiki. I always called them sunlight maggots. I thought that that's what they were called. But we're going to try to save Solaire once again by heading back and defeating the demon fire sage, which I hope will cause him to spawn over there. I heard that you need to reach Lost Izalith and beat the demon fire sage and the centipede demon in order to get him to spawn over there, but I had thought originally that that was bad and that would cause him to go through the quest line where he died rather than saving him. So I don't really know about that, but he's not spawning over there, and I'm worried about just defeating the Bed of Chaos boss without going to that other area first, which I think I'm going to try. So I'm going to cut back in front of the Demon Fire Sage boss room. I'll be there in just a second. Okay, we're back in front of the boss door for the Demon Fire Sage, and I've switched out to my Black Knight shield, although it did not help with a similar boss in the Undead Asylum, the Stray Demon's fire attack. I'm going to try it now just to see. This boss is almost a repeat in a way of the Stray Demon, at least in style, because it is another one of those giant, big-bellied demons that are susceptible to bleed attack and to pyromancy, weirdly. And we're going to have to go in there and fight them in a very confined space while they spam an AoE fire attack against us. So let us pop in here and see if we can defeat this guy. He is also susceptible to bleed. And his attacks are hard to dodge. They're like big and confusing, and you can get hit by them pretty easily, I think. Yes! Take that, your big belly, with your belly. Come on. He also drops a catalyst when he dies called the Demon Catalyst, I think? Is that what it's called? Ooh, I blocked that 100%. You can get close to him here, and he becomes much easier. It's just like the other demon. The closer you are to danger, the farther you are to harm. You just have to get very, very close to him and whack away. He can also do that weird little fluttering jump attack where he pops up in the air for a little bit and then slams down on his butt. And if you can get him to kind of get him sort of locked into that motion over and over again, it becomes child's play. Again, this was very easy for me because I was a Dex character. The Dex characters just really seem to have it easier in this game, honestly, compared to the Strength characters. Although maybe there are a couple places, like maybe fighting Artorias, where a Strength character that can really stagger someone is probably better. Let us head up here. There's a Soul of a Proud Knight behind these guys, but, it's not that useful. I'm just gonna grab it anyway, just because I might as well. One-shot these guys, that's nice. And really the main reason for coming down here is to unlock the shortcut. Because now that we have defeated this boss, we can pop right up here and take this elevator all the way back up to Quelaag's domain. I mentioned this elevator a long time ago in the Two Bells episode, and we are now in Quelaag's domain and can ride this elevator up and down, which is really nice. So we're much closer. We don't have to fight through the demon ruins in order to get down to, what is that place called? To Lost Izalith. And I forgot to get this. I should have gotten this a couple episodes ago, but this is now the Knight Kirk's armor, the Armor of Thorns, and you can roll and damage people with it just like Kirk can. Armor of Kirk, Knight of Thorns, and notorious member of the Dark Race. A dense patch of thorns grows from its surface. It is a fitting item for the murderous Kirk, for by simply wearing it and rolling, one can damage enemies. Now, they're kind of mean to Kirk here, because it's revealed that he is they keep calling him a Dark Wraith, but it doesn't really seem like he is a Dark Wraith, or if he was, he gave that life up, and is now pursuing his life as a servant of chaos, like we are. And that just seems, that's pretty strange. I mean, we don't really know too much about Kirk, or if is it all that better to be a servant of chaos? I mean, I guess so. I like to think so. But that armor is pretty cool looking. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to show you just the chest piece in a second, because I think it looks kind of awesome. And where are you? Probably not as good mid-range armor as the Elite Knight armor, but it's still pretty neat. I love the shoulders. The spikes on it look pretty awesome. It looks sort of dirty and maybe covered in blood or rust. It's pretty awesome, and it's actually fairly light. So I think we are going to go up and talk to good old-fashioned Sieglinde, if she's back there, or we are going to see, now that we have rested at this bonfire, if we can pop over and talk to Solaire, or if we actually have to go out and defeat the centipede demon and talk to him. I mean, I don't know if we're screwing up the quest here or not. I'm not sure about that. We are going to have to find that out. Probably in the next episode, we are going to go down into the Great Hollow, and if we get to finish Siegmeyer's questline, that's great. If not, it's too bad. We're still going down there anyway. It's just unfortunate if we screwed up. Let's see if she says anything different.
Well, hello again. I have finally located my father. All of your help was invaluable to us. Thank you so much. I was finally able to pass on my mother's last words. My father, as he went on his final adventure, don't worry, that's just the way he is, undead or no. Sort of reassuring, really. If he goes hollow, I'll just have to kill him again. My father.
That we will be able to, we'll still be able to get Siegmeyer's questline. We may have succeeded, even though he was, you know, eaten during our little journey back there. We may actually be able to still do this. So we're going to be going to the Great Hollow probably in the next episode and finishing off Siegmeyer's quest, which is pretty sad. We also learned some sad things here because she refers to this as her father's final adventure. Why is it necessarily his final adventure? Why does she think that? And they're both undead, and apparently she has killed him before. So did she kill him that initially, that led him, like, his first death? Or was that after he'd already become undead and gone hollow? Or did he get sort of kinda crazy beforehand, and just after this? Or did he get kind of crazy and she had to kill him, and then he recovered a little bit? We don't really know exactly what happened. But whatever it is, it's probably what we're going to be doing in the next episode. I am going to pop down and see if Solaire is still down there. If not, I'm just going to end the episode here. But if he is, I will see what's going on. If he's not down there, then I'll just end the episode here and continue on fighting the centipede demon in another episode and see how that goes.